Hello everyone and welcome to the second installment of Fighter Wolf anime reviews. As some of you know, I am very excited for Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. Since I didn't know about Tatsunoko like everyone else, I decided to look up information on the Tatsunoko licenses in the game, and one of them was the two-part OVA Karos. Since it was actually dubbed in English, I decided to check it out, and to celebrate the release of the game, why not review it as well? First for story. The story is set in a fictional version of Shinjuku, Tokyo, where the human and spirit worlds coexist with each other, but the humans can't see the inhabitants of the spirit world. For many ages, every city in the world is protected by a guardian warrior known as a Karos, sworn to maintain balance between both worlds. However, Shinjuku's previous Karos, known as Echo, has become sickened at the carelessness and arrogance of the people he's protected for so long, and is now plotting to destroy the city and rebuild it in its own vision by turning the spirits into killer machines known as Mikura and have them do his dirty work with him. Meanwhile, Otoha Yusuke, an ex-yakuza who is awakened from a coma, finds himself in the spirit world and is chosen by a cat-like spirit named Yorine to be Tokyo's new Karos and put an end to Echo's plan. There is also a subplot involving the new two detectives, Minura Sagisaka and Narumi Kure, investigating a series of murders caused by the Mikura. Sagisaka is the only one who believes that there is supernatural involvement with the murders because his daughter claimed to have seen the Mikura during a massacre at her school, but was sent to a mental hospital because no one believed her, and he is determined to prove that she's telling the truth and get her out. The story does start out confusing the first time you watch part 1, but it starts to flesh out more in part 2. And the story itself isn't that original, but it at least follows a fine pace, especially in part 2. The subplot is something you may like or dislike when comparing it to the action-oriented main plot, but I did feel it had some purpose, and I did think it concluded on a good note. Now for characters. Development is mostly focused on the main characters, and it's a little hit and miss in my opinion. Otoha starts out mad, but towards the end of part 1 and throughout part 2, I really started to get into the character. The situations he was in, and seeing his past, it really did start to make me feel for the character. The anti-hero Nue will probably be everyone's favorite character, as his action scenes are exciting, and he does steal the show during the first half of part 1. Everyone else, I feel you may or may not like. Echo isn't that unique of a villain, and the side characters are overshadowed and may be hard to care for. Now for art and animation. One of Karos' biggest strengths is its animation. The detail in the backgrounds is outstanding, and it really does show the culture and lifestyle of Shinjuku, Tokyo. One thing that Karos has become well known for is its mix of 2D and 3D animation. Both blend in very well and make the action look as well as they play. The action scenes are also intense and will keep you at the edge of your seat. Other than that, all I can say is that it's one of the best looking anime you'll ever find. And finally for sound. The music in Karos is also outstanding, from the epic music playing in the action scenes to the more mellow music of the more relaxed scenes. You'll be searching for the music so you can add it to your MP3. The voice acting is also well done. The English dub contains some voices such as Steve Stanley, who is known for voices like Toshiro from Bleach, Kazuki from Buso Renkin, and Kadaj from Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. But mostly contains celebrity voices such as Cree Summer, Matthew Lillard, and Jay Hernandez, and they all do a job well done. The Japanese version also has some seiyuu who are just starting out with voice acting, and they actually did a pretty good job. There's also a few well-known seiyuu, such as Takahiro Sakurai, who is best known for voices like Cloud from the Final Fantasy series, Yukanda from D. Greyman, Suzaku from Code Geass, and Tentomon from Digimon, and they are still as good as ever. Overall, I found Karos to be a good anime with a storyline that you may not be able to get into the first time around, but does make up for it with its high-quality animation, music, and action. If you're like me and became curious about Tatsunoko's anime, you may want to check this out. I give Karos an 8.3 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for my upcoming Tatsunoko vs. Capcom review. Later.